Welcome to another episode. I'm the Greek Retro Geek, and today we're going to open more games. More bags of games. You can see all these bags of games, and we're going to try to open as many bags as possible and see what's inside there. Again, some great deals, which were basically part of a January deal where a local video game store chain has here in Michigan, where all games which are $9.99 or cheaper are basically 50% off. So basically, what I did is I went to all the 3 stores that they have in the area, and I basically browsed their entire store, and I made piles of games which I thought that are either really interesting, I didn't have, or they were in a really good shape, or really good deals. So I ended up kind of like making bundles of huge purchases, and I ended up spending a lot of money. But the games I got are worth way more. So it's kind of like a bittersweet feeling when you spend lots of money, but when you know that the things that you got are worth way more than what you paid for, this makes you feel better. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to try to open a couple of bags and go through the games that I bought together. So we're going to bring back the first bag of games. Oh, it's nice that they put the games in the bag with the logo of the store. And let's see what we have there. Starting off with the first thing I'm going to grab from the bag. This is Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands for the PS3. That's a great game. That's a great action game. It's a continuation of the classic Prince of Persia series, and this was basically $5. Everything that you see, it's 50% off. And there's this this logo here. This is a Best Buy exclusive, which is really cool. I think this is a variant of the game. The second game that I got is Monster Madness: Grave Danger. And I think that this is an uncommon game. It looks like it's fun. I think it's an action, kind of like a shooting game. It looks like it's one of the early releases. You can tell from the logo being red, and that's how you can tell whether a PS3 game is an early release versus the later games which were black. And the later releases were actually blue because they wanted to match the style with the PS5, with the PS4. So this is Monster Madness: Grave Danger. Looks fun. The sticker says $9.99, so I paid $5 for this. It's pretty uncommon game. So this is Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, the sequel. This is also a great game, and there is a re-release for the Switch, and I think the other systems as well, on the trilogy of the PS3 and the Xbox games. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 for the PS3, complete with its manual, for $5. It's also a nice addition to the collection. And what I'm grabbing is another Tengen cartridge for the NES. It's a classic arcade game, Rolling Thunder. This is a great conversion actually, and this is the only console conversion of the game. Then the other games, Rolling Thunder 2 and 3, came out on the Sega Genesis. So the NES got the first game, and the Sega Genesis got the other 2 sequels. A pretty fun and addicting game. Next, we have another game for the PS3, Dynasty Warriors 8, from the Dynastic series of Dynasty Warriors. I mean, there's so many games of this gameplay style where you have like hundreds of enemies and you do slash them all, and there's an endless kind of like space where you move and you keep slashing new hordes of enemies who come to kill you. And this is the 8th installment in the series. It's pretty uncommon as a game, complete with manual, and I also paid $5 for this one. It's also a good addition to the PS3 collection. So now I have a Wipeout game for the PSP, Wipeout Pure, and this is it was only $150. I thought that this was a great deal. I didn't even look it up, so I just bought the game because I know that I like the Wipeout series. and you know that has to be at least decent enough. This is another very cheap and common game for the PS2, Prism, Chapter 1, The Dark Unicorn, also $1.50. I don't think this is a really good game, but you know, I like the artwork of the game, and I think that it was complete. It's in great shape, and I think that it would be a useful nothing is useful actually if we don't play the games. I mean, a nice addition to the collection. Next we have NBA 08, the live version 3. You know, I don't usually buy sports games, but this one I don't think I've seen this very often in game store shelves, and I thought this might be a little uncommon. It could be nice to own it, especially only having paid like $1.50 complete in its box. Next we have an NES game for $5. That's what I paid. Low G-Man. I know little about this game. I know that this is not one of the best action games for the NES, but I would like to try it. Also a good deal. This game goes for much more online. Here's a Sega Master System game, the classic Afterburner conversion for the Master System. This is a pretty decent port considering, you know, the 8-bit nature of the system and the limitations of the Sega Master System. You know, this is a pretty decent port. Look at this sticker, Sega for the 90s. I mean, this sticker was basically oftentimes found in US releases of Master System games, which first came out, you know, in Europe, and this was half the price that you see here, so $5. It's a pretty decent price for this game. Then we have the more rare RBI baseball game for the NES. This is the Great cartridge. This is more rare because the game came out by Tengen on the black cartridge first, and later it was re-released on the regular gray card for the NES. Basically the same game. This is the less common, so this is like a $10–15 game on eBay. The other one's like a $5 game, and I actually paid $5 for this, so a really decent deal. What we have next is a game which I didn't even know it existed for the Sega Genesis, Fun and Games for $5. Looks like a compilation of kids games or mini games. This game complete in its box, and it was only $5. So who says no to a $5 kind of like interesting and uncommon game for the Sega Genesis, especially when it's complete in its box. This one is a Conflict, and I paid a little more for this one because it came with a manual. And this is a Vic Tokai game, one of the less common games for the system, for the NES system. And I bet many of you who collect for the NES have never seen this specific cover. So the art is pristine, the label is pristine, so I'm really happy that I got this to the collection. Next we have the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. I mean, I know that the online games are eventually going to be useless, completely useless, but especially when they're kind of like super cheap, like this was $1.50, it would be nice to have all the add-ons and the online discs for the Elder Scrolls games. So this one was $1.50, and you know, it's the reason I bought it. I wouldn't pay more than that. Same thing with the Tamriel Unlimited expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. Next, what I'm going to get from the box is another Sega Genesis game, LHX Attack Chopper. This is a helicopter game for the Sega Genesis. This is complete in its box, and it's a very nice, decent price, $5 for the game with its manual, which I'm holding in the other hand. And another game from Electronic Arts, which is not a sports game, with these interesting cases, and the cartridges have a different shape from Electronic Arts. And I'm going to run a couple more for this video. What I'm holding is the Bureau XCOM Declassified for the PS3, and the reason why I bought this game, it was $5. It comes with the sleeve, which I rarely find the sleeve when I come across this game. So I thought that, something, this would be a nice addition of the game. Very few games were actually coming with a sleeve for the PS3, so this one did. Then we have some very cheap games which I didn't have. This is Far Cry 4 for the PS4 for $1.50. This is a demo disc. I like demo discs for the PS2. It was coming with magazines of their time. This is Jump Pack Volume 13. It has playable demos of many games of the time, and it costs $1.50. I think I have 5-6 of these. Just when I find something I buy, I don't even remember which ones I have, but when all the games get out of their boxes, I will be able to know where I am with the Jump Pack subset. Then we have a game for the OG Xbox, Men of Valor. Again, I don't really like war first-person shooters, but if they're like $1.50 and they are complete and in a good shape, and I don't own them, I grab them. So Men of Valor for the OG Xbox. That's added to the pile. Warhawk Limited Edition for the PS3. Again, same story here. This is based on the... Oh, this actually has the original Warhawk game for the PS1. It's included in the disc. Ah, that's a nice surprise. And this is also $1.50 game, complete in its box. The last 3 games we are going to take out of this bag are Racing Evolution for the Xbox. This is actually a Namco racing game, an arcade-style racing game from Namco. I like these games. They remind me of the Ridge Racer series, which I love. And this was only $1.50. Then we have Dark Kingdom, another kind of like early PS3 release. This one, complete in its box for $3. And finally, we have a Medal of Honor game for the Wii Vanguard for $1.50. I don't have and I didn't know that many of the Medal of Honor games came out on the Wii. This is one of them. I don't know how good they are, but if they're really cheap, I'm not saying no. I try to not add shovelware to my Wii collection, but this is not exactly shovelware. So I thought, why not? So this is only a small portion of the games that I got from those 3 visits to the Game On stores. We're going to have more videos in the coming few days. Please make sure you subscribe, you like the video, and there's more videos coming on their way. Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.